Patil. Originally, she is from Nashik, Maharashtra. She has a PhD in molecular biology and currently she is working as a director in project manager for a pharma company. She is a Sevika since her childhood. Her current daitva is Northeast Sambhag Karyavahika. She lives in Pittsburgh with her husband, Dr. Kiranchi Patil, and her sweet daughters, Anushka and Kaveri.
नमस्ते। एकल गीत। एक एक पग बढ़ते जाए, बल वैभव का युग फिर लाए। एक एक पग बढ़ते जाए, बल वैभव का युग फिर लाए। एक एक पग बढ़ते जाए, बल वैभव का युग फिर लाए। जन जन की आँखों में जल है, धरती माता आज विकल है। जन जन की आँखों में जल है, धरती माता आज विकल है। आज चुनौती हम पुत्रों को, जिसमें राष्ट्र प्रेम विचल है। अपना जीवन धन्य इसी में मुरझाए, मुख कमल खिलाए, बल वैभव का युग फिर लाए। बिखरे सुमन पड़े हैं अगणित, स्नेह सूत्र में कर ले गुम्फित। बिखरे सुमन पड़े हैं अगणित, स्नेह सूत्र में कर ले गुम्फित। माता के विस्मृत मंदिर को मधुर गंध से कर ले सुरभित। जननी के पावन चरणों में कोटि सुमन की माल चढ़ाए, बल वैभव का युग फिर लाए। कोटि जनों की संग शक्ति हो, सब हृदयों में राष्ट्र भक्ति हो। कोटि जनों की संग शक्ति हो, सब हृदयों में राष्ट्र भक्ति हो। कोटि बड़े पद एक दिशा में, सबके मन में एक युक्ति हो। कोटि कोटि हाथों वाली नौ, असुर मर्दनी हम प्रगटाए, बल वैभव का युग फिर लाए। एक एक पग बढ़ते जाए, बल वैभव का युग फिर लाए। बल वैभव का युग फिर लाए, बल वैभव का युग फिर लाए।
परम पवित्र भगवान ध्वज, माननीय संघचालक जी, माननीय प्रमुख अतिथि, all Swayamsevak brothers, Sevika sisters, and the guests. As we know, today we are here to celebrate Vijayadashami. Vijayadashami, of course, from Sangha point of view, it is the birth of Sangha per se, or celebration of birth for Sangha per se. But as a society, it is also celebration of good over evil, or dharma over adharma. We have always seen examples after examples of how the dharma will sustain when somebody will stand up for it. If you take from the initial yuga, there was a very clear idea of what is right and what is wrong. In fact, in Satyuga, as we know, there was a constant war or constant fight between asuras and devas, and they lived in two different worlds. Humans in between didn't have to get involved. We just need to pray and see things will be okay. We just needed to know what is right from wrong. As you come to Treta Yuga, it is little different. The right and wrong existed on the same earth, maybe in two different civilizations, but Rama and Ravana survived on the same earth. And then there was a war between adharma and dharma and the victory of dharma. As you come to Dwapar Yuga, it is not just two civilizations, but the dharma and adharma would exist in the same family. And you needed to know the mantra or the technique of not just being to be on the right side, you also needed the technique of war to win, for dharma to win. And as you come to Kali Yuga, it is not two civilizations, it is not just two different members of the family, the war is within us. The evil and the good and the evil exist in the same individual. And then we decide, how do we constantly remind ourselves to be on the side of dharma? How do we constantly remind ourselves to be on the path of dharma so that the world sustains? Because dharayate iti dharma. And for that sustenance, we ought to make sure that we are on that path. Vijayadashami is also a reminder of that. Vijayadashami also we celebrate for 9 days of Navratri. We celebrate different form of feminine divine. And for us, we know 3 most important things in life, which is wealth, knowledge, and power. No society can exist without that. We celebrate all these 3 Shaktis in form of Devi during Navratri, reminding ourselves that how these 3 Shaktis are equally important. And if you think about it, Hindu civilization or Bharat was one of the greatest civilizations on the earth because they had all these 3 things. Had the knowledge, the highest knowledge, had the strength, also had the wealth, but was never used to conquer or to destroy other civilizations, but to use and become Jagat Guru, to show the path of dharma to the rest of the world. And that is the heritage we have followed. That is the heritage we have received for thousands of years. But then we had some bad 1,000 years. Why? Because we forgot that it is not just the individual Shakti, just the individual prosperity, just the individual strength enough. We cannot be engrossed thinking just about myself. And why is that? That's what we have seen. We went to the highest pinnacle of glory and became too engrossed in the individual thought process. Individual spirituality we achieved, but forgot about the Sangha Shakti. And the deterioration started. Of course, there are multiple reasons, but this is one of the reasons. And actually, the nature has given us a perfect example why not to do that. We have been told that there is a connection of an individual to the extended universe. Yeah? The individual, the extended form of an individual is a family. The extended form of the family is society. The extended form of society is the nation. The extended form of the nation is the world. And the extended form of the world is the universe. So, we are connected at every level. Every individual is connected to this creation. We just don't realize it in our day-to-day life. Or we forget very, very conveniently. But that connection is there. And how do we want to remind ourselves about that connection? Take the example of our own body. I've given this example before. If you think about it, what is the smallest unit of the body? A cell. What is the extended form of the cell? A tissue. What's the extended form of a tissue? An organ. So extended form of an organ is a system. And an extended form of a system is the human body. If one cell decides to focus only on its own growth and worry about only its own growth, what will happen? Yeah? A tumor will grow. The cell will only think about itself, take all the nutrition from the other cells and grow. A tumor will grow. And what will that tumor do to the rest of the body? We know the result. That's exactly what we don't want to do as an individual. Because the whole has bigger impact on a part than a part has an impact on the whole. Yes, as an individual, if I become a great, I can make a difference in the society. But the society at large has the biggest impact on me as an individual. And that is why Sangha Shakti is the most important concept of today's world, because if we are not collectively doing the right thing or not following the path of dharma as a society, we cannot have a bigger impact. So the point is to understand the connection. The point is to understand my responsibility beyond my own small world and step out and do it. And then we might wonder, what did we do today? Isn't it weird? We all came together, did some danda, did some niyata. What is that going to do? It is nothing but to create that collective consciousness so that we feel part of this bigger picture. Do we think we can do this individually? Not everybody is disciplined to do yoga every day in the morning, danda every day in the morning, or yogcha. But when we do it together, for last, I'm sure, 5, 6, 7 weeks, we all are coming together, practicing it, taking the pain of sometimes, some of us with our age have tough time bending down, doing Vyayam yoga. I can imagine. But we did it. We did it because of that spirit. Because we came together and created that collective consciousness. And then everything was possible. As an individual, it was not, most likely. And that is why this concept of part of this big family, as our Pramukh Atithi said, is very, very important. But then what we remind ourselves today, that this Sangha Shakti is what we need to establish, because if we have everything, every great, glorious concepts to offer to the world, if we don't have Sangha Shakti behind it, the Shakti, collective Shakti behind it, nobody is going to listen. If we stand strong, then say it, everybody will listen. And why do we want everybody to listen? Because we have something to offer which is useful for the entire world, and that is why we say Vishwa Dharma. Because it is a universal dharma. And the values we are implementing and trying to imbibe are the universal values, and that is why this is a reminder that individually being great is not enough. We all are, as Hindu community in this country, we all are individually great achievers. But we ought to come together to make the society great, not just an individual. And that is why precisely we all come to Shakha, do the same day every week, play the same games, do the same exact thing for 1.5 hours. Why? Because that's the constant sanskar, will become the habit, will become the character. And the people with good, right, strong character is the need of the hour. Because when that happens, we have seen what the impact is on the society. We have seen it back in Bharat, when Swayam Sevaks are given, are seen the first responder to any calamity. This year, in America, we have done multiple such programs to impact the local society. We have celebrated Guru Vandana, almost 1,800 teachers were felicitated across United States. We have done the Raksha Bandhan, going and tying Rakhi to firefighters, to policemen, to congressmen, extending the bond of brotherhood and thanking them for their service and their protection. But we can only do that when we are collectively doing it. And that is why, remembering that what is our goal? To create that strong, good charactered individuals so that we can create a strong society. I'll end with a small story. I'm sure some of you have heard it. How do we do that? How do we just create one individual with good character, and how do we expect the world to be okay? So there was a dad who was given a duty to take care of a 5-year-old for the entire afternoon. The dad sitting here can imagine how tough that job is, and especially if the kid is extremely hyperactive. But the dad wanted to work, so he had a huge map of world map